Hi, it's Pastor Paul Ella Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Satisfaction Saturday. We're right at the last day of the week. We're going into this Labor Day weekend. I do hope and pray that God is blessing all of you who might be traveling and that you have traveling graces. And remember that we thank God for all of those people who have worked hard in this country, the United States of America. And we pray that God is blessing you and strengthening you. And we pray for all of our brothers and sisters all over the world, because we serve a God who cares about us all, not just those of us in the United States, but the entire world. I love that song we used to sing as a child. He's got the whole world in his hands. Today, I invite you to look with me into Matthew's Gospel, the 10th chapter, verses 34 through 42, the New Living Translation. It's a very powerful message. It's a message that's hard for sometimes us to hold on, to take grasp in our hands, and to really wrap it around in our minds what God is really saying to us and how Jesus gives us these powerful words. And he says to us, first of all, don't imagine that I've come to bring peace. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. I came to bring separation. You know, it's important for us to understand that Jesus came that he might have some clear lines of demarcation to find out who we are and whose we are. In our text on today, it begins to talk about how Jesus said, I came to set a man against his father, a daughter against his mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and your enemies will be right in your own household. He says, if you love your father, your mother more than you love me, you are not worthy of being mine. Or if you love your son or your daughter more than me, you're not worthy of being mine. And if you refuse to take up your cross and follow me, you're not worthy of being mine. If you cling to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for me, you will find it. Anyone who receives you receives me. Anyone who doesn't receive me and the Father who sent me. If you didn't receive the prophets who spoke to you of God, you will get the same reward as a prophet. It is important for us to see what he is saying to us in this text. He's telling us that he comes to bring division. He comes for us to see who's who and what's what. In our world in which we live, we love to try to get people together. We love to find a common point. We love to find those points in which we can agree. It's always great for us to find commonality. But Jesus tells us, or as he is quoted through and by this gospel writer of Matthew, that Jesus is saying, I came to show you who people really are. In the world in which we live, all it takes is just a few observations for us to see who people really are. We find ourselves living in a world that people will say, I'm this, I'm that. But when the rubber meets the road, when it comes time to get into the voting poll, when it comes time for us to make decisions about people and the best thing that can happen for all people, as opposed to just some people, it is then we begin to see and know who we really are. In our text today, it helps us to see that Jesus says, I come to let you know that I am here to bring about division. I want you to know who's mine and who's not mine. Well, the Bible begins to remind us later on as we read that Christ came into the world. He came to save the world. He came for all of us to know the love of God. And if anyone does not receive the love of God, he says that they are the ones who didn't receive the prophets and who do not receive me. And they will find themselves in the situation that they have decided they wanted to choose. And that is to deny God and to deny God's presence in our lives. But he also tells us, anyone who receives me and anyone who receives me receives the Father who sent me. If you receive a prophet as one who speaks from God, you will be given the same reward as a prophet. He lets us see there's benefits to hearing the good news of the gospel. He says, if you receive me as you would receive a prophet, there's a great benefit to you. You will be given the same reward that a prophet gets. That is so amazing. In essence, he's saying that if you receive this message, you'll get all the blessings and all the benefits of being a part of the message and being a part of the one who is the messenger. It lets all of us see that if we receive the words that God has given to us, God has something great in store for us all. And we must make sure that we fully grasp what God has in store for us. He wants us to prove to the world that he is who he says he is. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the King of Kings. He is the one who has something great in store for all of us. He tells us he's going to prepare a place for us. And the place that he's prepared is one that is fit and suited for all of those who have heard the good news and who have decided to follow and obey. Today, my brothers and sisters, I hope you can find the satisfaction on this Saturday of knowing that you're a child of God and that God has called you, God has anointed you, and God has appointed you, and you're here to do what he's called you to do. My brothers and sisters, always know that you're exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and I'll look forward to seeing you on tomorrow in worship.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.